it's funny because before this, yeah, I had the 9 to 5 corporate sales. And then, I speak to my wife at the time where it's like not too long ago, obviously, because this is still new. And then I'm like, I have this idea. And then look at this guy, Jordan Platten on YouTube. He seems legit. I want to do his course. And she's like, okay, let me see who this guy is. And then she starts making research on Jordan Platten and see who this guy is. And she's like, okay, he seems legit. I'm like, babe, I want to do this thing. I want to go for it. And if I go for something, I'm going all the way. I'm not going to, sorry, my language, I'm not going to half-ass it. I'm going to go all the way.
Yeah.
So, and then got your program. I kind of went through it. I did my 9 to 5 at the same time of doing the business. And then eventually I signed 2 clients up, which was a decent revenue per month. Granted, my wife was still bringing income as well. So she was like, okay, now it's the perfect time for you to quit. She was like, if you could sign 2 clients and I graduate university, I get a full-time job, you could do this thing full-time because at least we'll have a decent income and we'll replace your current income with my income. I was like, okay, got 2 clients, quit my job, which is, and I have to say, quitting your job is definitely something. Whenever you go see your boss, and especially with these uncertain times, he was kind of questioning me. It was like, you're leaving in the midst of this, and I'm like, yeah. So, and
What's up, guys? Jordan here. Today we are joined by Adam. Adam is the owner of Orama Digital. He is a member of the Affluent Academy. This guy, man, this guy is taking things to another level. He's scaled his agency to 6 figures in a 90-day period, so 3 months, without making a single cold call, guys. So we're going to be diving into that today. This is a biggie. But first of all, Adam, thank you so much for being here. I'd love it if you could just give people a bit of your backstory. How did you come to find out about social media marketing? What were you doing beforehand? And yeah, why did you start an agency?
So, by the way, thank you for having me on. This is a huge opportunity. Jordan, you're smashing it. I've been watching you for the past year. You're just killing it, man. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks.
But for me, honestly, I guess the backstory for me, before social media marketing, whenever I graduated high school, my dad got me into the trades, got me into construction. He's like, Adam, you'll make a great career doing that. I'm like, all right, let's do this thing. Next thing you know, it's like 3 months down the line. I was like, I wasn't happy. I was like, I feel like I'm wasting my time here. I feel like, is this really it? Is this how life gets moving forward? Stuck to the 9 to 5 construction boots every day, not disregarding anybody that's doing it. But I was just like, is this really it for me? I feel like I've been called for much more. And that was like when I was 19. I'm 27 now. But down the line, I quit that job. I got into the corporate sales, and then I kind of made my way up from there. And I enjoyed sales a lot. And I think that's where it opened the floodgates for social media marketing. I enjoyed, cold calling and then signing a client. I just get that instant high. So I just made my way up through corporate ladder in the sales. And then from there, I was like, is that still it? Is that where it's gonna conclude? Is this where I'm gonna be forever, corporate sales? I feel like if I start my own thing, maybe I'll be happier. So I got stuck. I was like, I can't do the 9 to 5 to someone else and sharing my time to another owner when I could probably start my own thing. And then I started, being on social media a bit more. I was on Facebook a bit more. I got into like LinkedIn, Instagram, and then lo and behold, I noticed Jordan Platten here. Yeah, and then I saw you on YouTube, Jordan. I was just like, okay, I like his videos, and I'm a YouTube junkie. I love YouTube. Casey Neistat, you name it. I love YouTube. And then I saw Jordan. I was like, how the heck am I ending up on Jordan's Facebook, YouTube page? I was like, it didn't make any sense to me. And I was like, all right, let's just watch it. Maybe because it's sales, so let's do it. And I started watching every single video that you had, buddy. Every single one. I was like, okay, he's onto something. Oh, and you had a course out. The first SMMA course you had out, that was like 2 years before the new one you got.
Yeah, that was like about a year and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just like, maybe if I wait a couple more months, something else will come out. And next thing you know, you came out with the Affluent Academy. I was like, okay, I'm jumping on that. You had a good price at the time. And I was like, I'm just going to jump right in. And then my sales background actually helped me out with where I am today, because if I didn't have my sales experience, I don't believe I would have scaled so quickly. And I'm very grateful for that. And now learning into your program and what you do, and just expanded the entire thing. Now I love doing social media marketing. And I met Liam Casey through your program. And this guy, huge shout out to this guy. Like this guy for the real estate space. If you guys don't know, I do real estate. I help realtors get more listings every month or CMA inquiries on a monthly basis through Facebook advertising. And I only help realtors. So Liam, he's the guy behind the real estate space. So I kind of dug into his program as well. And then boom, that's where I am today. So with your help, Jordan, your trust in your program, the Affluent Academy, meeting Liam afterwards, it just kind of snowballed from there. Yeah. 3.5 months later, 6 figures, and I'm grateful for that. That's all I got to say.
That's amazing, man. Your story is so similar to mine, like the going through the corporate sales thing. And it's so strange that like you literally like scaled up at a similar rate to what I did, which is pretty much bang on, which is mad. So, and I think we are fortunate to have had those transferable skills from sales beforehand, because lots of people when they're starting off an agency have to go through that for the first time. Whereas, I mean, I don't know about you, but certainly when I first started, I was absolutely terrified of selling when I first had that sales job. So
I think there's always that thrill before you even pick up the phone, or even before anything. I think it's always there, but you just have to knock down the first one in your day. Yeah. And then the other 15, 20 or 30 are so much more easy.
Yeah, 100%. So you're selling to real estate agents as a salesman, but real estate agents are salesmen already. So, I mean, I actually used to work, one of the corporate sales jobs I had was selling to real estate agents. That put me off pitching them on my digital marketing service, because I knew what real estate agents were like. But I was doing door to door. So like I was traveling around doing door to door real estate agents, walking in there, all eyes on you, and you're pitching to the entire floor. So it's like, you've got 10 salesmen watching you and analyzing everything you say. So you've got to be quick witted. You've got to be solid with it. But so that put me off doing that. So how do you find selling to a salesman?
Value, I guess that's the biggest thing, because it's funny. I haven't touched a single cold call, because I was so, I guess through the corporate sales, I got tired of it. Yeah. So I was like, if there's a way to do outreach without doing cold calling, I'd be pretty happy. Although I could pick up the phone today and still do it, I don't mind. However, if I could do it without it, that'd be great. So for me, it's just through Facebook and just showing them value. And let's not be wrong here. They get dozens of messages like us every day. Like they're so annoyed with us. However, if you kind of keep it chill, like for me, I'm always looking for the relationship first before anything. I just want to connect with them. So I send them a cold message through Facebook, just, hey, how are you? Like, how's the real estate business going through like these times right now? It's just very simple. I just create a conversation. And from there, if they see my page, I created my Facebook page like a business card. If they see my page and they're curious to see what I do, then they ask the question like, oh, Adam, what do you do? I saw your page and I'm curious to know. And then that's where you kind of share your information. And it's just like, hey, if you're interested, I don't know if my service is for you. However, we could jump on a quick call and see if maybe my service could be a good fit to you and go for it. You can't just give a prescription without a full diagnosis. I just jump on a quick call with them and then show them value. And if they like it, let's go for it.
That's cool. So essentially your strategy is open up a ton of friendly conversations and make it so obvious of what you do because of like your page, if they check you out, that they are then intrigued enough to almost dig a little deeper. And so therefore it's almost like, it feels like this kind of almost hybrid between outbound and inbound. So that's sweet. And I think that everyone I speak to who's ever worked in sales understands so clearly that sales is, so it's not the word sales. We feel like when we hear that, we think of like Boiler Room, we think of like Wolf of Wall Street, we think of like that kind of thing, but that's not how it is at all. I've worked in those environments and they're really toxic environments to work in, but true sales is just relationship building. True sales is just a problem solving exercise between one person and another person. Ultimately, we want to get some cash within our agency. They want to get some more cash as well. It's a relationship which works for both parties. And when people actually strip it back to that and they just understand that, you'd be a lot more relaxed about it. You'd be a lot more confident in your approach. it doesn't have to become this intimidating thing. And you will actually find that people will respect you so much more because people will smell if you are desperate. Like if you,
Oh,
they will
100%.
sense it.
We've
And they'll be
done
like,
that mistake. I've done that mistake before, and that's how
yeah,
you learn.
yeah,
I'm not perfect here at all.
no,
I still learn every single day, and I think you're the same as well.
yeah,
But by just, it's a win-win on both sides. And what's great about social media marketing for anybody that's watching is you're helping them. You're giving them a service to actually help them create revenue or create a brand through social media, which is absolutely amazing. So yeah.
definitely. And you have to want to help them as well. Like it's not, it's like anybody can try and fake like being genuine, right? So like a lot of people try and fake genuine, but you can see right through it. Like you see some people on YouTube, some people call you up and approach you and try and sell you something. You can smell or sense somebody who is not genuine. You can just feel this forced energy. And so if you're starting out as an agency owner and you're just selling your service and all you're thinking about is the service charge, you're not actually thinking about the concept that you are actually helping this person, then you're not gonna seem like a genuine, authentic person. So therefore, you really should take a step back to actually realize what it is you're doing and have a genuine desire to help other people, because you get out. I'm a true believer in like karma and energy. And I genuinely believe that you get back what you put out to the world. And especially in this industry, you actually then offered the opportunity to be paid for then being able to help other people at the same time. And I think grasp that and really own that. I think that's really key when you're outreaching.
It's when you believe in your product as well. When your service, whatever you created in your agency, when you really believe and you know for a fact that it could help realtors or dentists or any other industries, when you actually believe in your product or service, it's so much more easier to offer it, to showcase it, to show it to everybody, or creating content on Facebook for realtors to see it. It's when you really believe in your product where it sells itself without having sales in the title, I guess, right? You don't want to come off too salesy. You just want to come off relationship, see if they actually need the service and go from there.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree with you. So you signed up with clients very, very quickly. So like within that period, and from experience, it's like a shock because number one, like financially, it's a shock because it's like things that you haven't experienced before. Number two, it's the time, because then all of a sudden, like we kind of start a business to get out of a 9 to 5, but then actually realize we're working more out in the business than we were in our job anyway. So it's like, how are you managing everything? Was that a bit of a shock to the system with like signing all those clients? How are you actually managing that process? Are you building a team? What's the score with that?
I'm actually in the process of probably hiring a VA at this point to do the outreach for me. And I just like doing the service delivery a ton more now because I believe so much in the product. And for me, my clients, they're everything to me. Like I truly want to make sure they're okay. Like if they have any questions, call me up. I'm there to help my clients. Like that's kind of where I am right now. I'm in the process of hiring a VA, but in terms of managing my time, it's just like, it's funny because before this, I had the 9 to 5 corporate sales. And then, I speak to my wife at the time where it's like not too long ago, obviously, because this is still new. And then I'm like, I have this idea, and then look at this guy, Jordan Platten on YouTube. He seems legit. I want to do his course. And she's like, okay, let me see who this guy is. And she starts making research on Jordan Platten and see who this guy is. And she's like, okay, he seems legit. I'm like, babe, I want to do this thing. I want to go for it. And if I go for something, I'm going all the way. I'm not going to, sorry, my language, I'm not going to half-ass it. I'm going to go all the way.
Yeah.
So, and then got your program. I kind of went through it. I did my 9 to 5 at the same time of doing the business. And then eventually I signed 2 clients up, which was a decent revenue per month. Granted, my wife was still bringing income as well. So she was like, okay, now it's the perfect time for you to quit. She was like, if you could sign 2 clients and I graduate university, I get a full-time job, you could do this thing full-time because at least we'll have a decent income and we'll replace your current income with my income. I was like, okay, got 2 clients, quit my job, which is, and I have to say, quitting your job is definitely something. Whenever you go see your boss, and especially with these uncertain times, he was kind of questioning me. It was like, you're leaving in the midst of this, and I'm like, yeah. So and I was like, yeah, I'm actually going to do this thing. And he's like, hey, he was a great guy though. I can't express that enough. And he just wished me the best. And then here I am today, and I'm just managing my time. I wake up every day. I wake up and I do my gratitude things. I like to work on myself, work out in the morning, drink my coffee, and then 8:30, I'm in front of the computer, smash out the day. 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I usually stop. However, I kind of just jump on my laptop sometimes just to check if everything's okay, if my ads are running smoothly. I love doing this, man. I love this. And granted, because of you, Liam, that I'm able to actually enjoy this thing and believe in the product that I'm serving.
I love that. That's amazing. And I think one of the big things why, I mean, your life, it's probably not easy, but the reason why your agency is running so nicely is because you are just specializing in one niche now. You can replicate that same strategy on new clients that you sign up, and you've got this well-oiled machine, and it's almost like you now have this, because you know what you can do for people. It's like, take me or leave me. Like, if you want me, work with me. If you don't, I really don't care. So it's literally just like cards on the table. This is what I do. If you want it, come get it.
Yeah, it's the same strategy. That's why it's so important for me. It's like, a lot of people ask me, I was like, do you sign a dozen realtors in the same city? I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense, because the strategy is the same. If I onboard so many realtors in the same city, it's just going to be a conflict. And then one realtor is going to be like, oh, you're giving so many like good results to this guy. Why are you not giving that many results? It's like, you care more for him and not me. So it's so important, especially in this space. If you're in the same industry, like real estate, or it could be dentist, make sure you scatter. I live in Canada, which it's still a big country. So I'm able to go from Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, Nova Scotia. So I scatter to make sure that there's not a conflict between my clients. So, but I enjoy it. It's definitely very good.
That's sweet. That's sweet. And that is key as well. Like with I remember when I signed up a gym, and then I signed up another gym really close by to them, and I was friends with one of the gym owners, and we had this conflict, and it got a bit ugly, and so we actually had to end up getting rid of one of the clients. So definitely, my rule of thumb is always like, if you're living in a city which is like a small population of, like, I don't know, 200,000 people, whatever, you really can't get competing industries. If you're in somewhere like central London, where you've got, like, I don't know the population of London, but I'm guessing it's a couple of million people, you can get away with like being 5 miles away from each other, or like 2 or 3 miles away. Because as long as there's like a pool of like 200 to 500,000 people that you can just take hold of, then you'll be okay. But ideally, you don't want to be doing that, because it creates this conflict between your clients.
Usually 2 or 3 is good enough. After that, I still get messages sometimes like, oh, are there contracts done? I want to jump on board with you. I'm like, no, it's not done. And what if they extend with me? And
that's cool. So you got like ones in the pipeline who are waiting for your current clients to move on.
But it's the respect you have for your current clients, where it's like, hey, this he wants to jump on board. Is he a competitor to you? If so, I won't sign him. You know, it's caring for your client first, and actually looking for what they want, and going from there. You can't just onboard everybody, or else your brand itself, your brand is going to be in jeopardy as well, because it's not going to be good for you later on.
The one thing that strikes me with you, which is a lot of people don't really get when they've done sales, because lots of people, you can go 2 ways. Well, actually, you can go 2 ways in going sales. When you work in sales, you can go one way where you absolutely love sales, but you're all about the money. Like, salespeople get into sales for the money. Like, I'd be lying if I said I didn't get into sales for money. It's an industry where, you know, if I can sell, I'm going to make cash, and you can make cash at a young age, and you can just make it happen for yourself. The problem is, you can get drawn into that, and you get drawn into this like material world, and where you literally end up. I've had jobs when I first started out where you'd be working with people who just do not care what they say to people on the phone. They just want to get that sale, and it's not about the customer whatsoever. The other way you can go is you can realize that that's how sales works, and so many people just say whatever they can to get the sale, and then they hate the industry and move on to something completely fulfilling. Yep. But you've done what I've done in the way that you realize that actually there's so much more to sales than just actually providing someone with a product or a service. Sales is communication, and communication is without a doubt the most valuable skill you could ever have. And when you then recognize that you can use that to not only benefit yourself by growing your business, but also helping other businesses and making sure your service is good, then it just turns into this whole other beast. And you're like, I mean, I can tell you're so passionate about your customers and about your product, but just to clarify for the benefit of everyone else, you didn't know how to market beforehand, did you? You never run ads before, have you?
never touched a Facebook ad in my entire life. So, I mean, I tried a Shopify store with my buddy. It failed after like a month. I gave up on it. But like, essentially, I didn't know nothing. That's why whenever you believe in mentors and coaches online, you really have to make your research. You can't just be buying everybody's course. It's, first of all, you get in debt, which is not good. You don't want to have a credit card that's jacked up. But at the same time, you have to look out for yourself. So it's just like, okay, Jordan, I watched honestly like 100 of your videos before I purchased the Affluent Academy. Like I had to make my research. And then I was like, okay, this guy's good. So whenever I got to your course, which is very good, anybody that wants to start, go for Jordan for sure. And then what you laid out in terms of how to do social media marketing was so good. And it's actually pretty advanced what we're learning in your program, which is great. And with that, it opened the door with Liam Casey for real estate. I love real estate since I'm a kid. I've always wanted to be a realtor. So for me, it was a no-brainer to be in real estate. I love real estate. I want to invest in real estate with my wife to create a passive income and eventually use that as retirement. So it was a no-brainer to be in real estate in terms of SMMA. When I got Liam and then went through his program, that's even more advanced strategy. You just learn it, you get passionate about it, and then eventually it becomes nothing. So for me, it's just, I know it's so good at this point and I'm still learning, but I'm very confident with my clients and the product that I have to make sure it delivers for them.
Because it's proven at the end of the day, just so you guys know for context, if you're watching this and you wonder the nature of this relationship. So in the Affluent Academy, one of the last modules, we have these lessons going through the exact strategies that you can literally replicate from existing agency owners. This is both myself, but also other agency owners who have got six-figure agencies specializing in individual niches. For example, someone who's working in real estate, Liam Casey, he specializes in that. I don't work with real estate. I could put together a pretty good strategy, but Liam is doing multiple six figures in the real estate niche. Therefore, he is way more qualified to talk about it than me. So he done the 1.5-hour training video on real estate, and therefore he then has further training on real estate that he offers to his community as well. But he is so engaged, so actively engaged in the Affluent Academy community, and it was so important for us to recognize and also be humble about the fact that how can one person know everything about everything? We wanted to bring together so many people who all the experts who know what they're doing in their individual field. That's why me and Joe are so confident to talk about e-com, because we literally get between 10 to, in some cases in COVID, we were getting 80 times ROAS for like clients in the e-com space. So we're so qualified to speak about that, and also humble enough to then bring other people in who are better than us in other industries. Adam, I'm conscious of the time, man. This conversation is it's amazing. Thank you so much for the value that you provided for everyone. I want to touch base with you in the future so we can give everyone else another update, because I think there's going to be huge things coming your way. You've already proven that. But I'd like to ask people a question towards the end of these interviews. And I want to ask you what you would say to somebody who maybe is either just starting out and they're umming and ahhing whether this is right for them, or they are already working on their agency. Maybe they feel like they've hit a bit of a brick wall and they're banging their head against the wall. What advice would you give that kind of a person?
I think it's, I remember, is it Stephen Anthony? That's part of the Affluent Academy. He said, keep going. And that's so true. And anything is, I think that's what he said, but never give up, keep going, believe in yourself, and you'll be able to do it. You'll be able to scale this thing. Don't give up. Sometimes the road gets hard. For me, hey man, some days I'm stressed out, and then some days are not as good as the other ones. We're human at the end of the day. We learn from this, but keep going. And honestly, you'll be very shocked. And one thing to note is never chase the money. Don't chase the money. If you're chasing the money, you will shoot yourself in the foot. Game over, buddy. Do it for a passion. Do it because you care for the clients or the people that you're interacting with. The money will come. The money will come if you put your heart into it, and don't give up. Things will happen.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. And it's interesting that almost every really successful person who comes on these interviews says, don't chase the money. And I said all the time, the money will always start as the money's always going to be the thing which makes you want to start digital marketing. But what makes you successful is actually that mindset shift. And I think that's a natural process. And I think it's okay to start by wanting the money, just like all of us did. But you need to have that mindset shift onto why you're actually doing this in the first place. And so you can actually you can be genuinely passionate and interested and excited to work, not just thinking it's just some laborious thing which is hopefully going to get you a paycheck. Right. One other final thing I want to touch on today is that I don't want you to, anyone watching this right now, who whatever position you're in, even if you've been established for a year, I don't want you to compare yourself to myself and Adam and anyone else I've spoken to for that matter and think, right, this person has done this in this frame of time. Like Adam's scaled up to 6 figures in 3 months. So that's what I should be able to do, or that is the industry standard. Because it might take one person with the exact same skill set and the exact same ability 3 years, or it might take another person 3 months, and God forbid it might take someone 3 weeks, right? And so everybody is on their own individual journey. And I've said this time and time again, but I can't drill it in enough. You should never put pressure on yourself based on the success of other people. It doesn't matter if you're 16 years old or if you're 67 years old or you're 90 years old for that matter. Everybody is on their own journey. And as long as you are just working hard to the best of your ability, you're putting your all into something, the success will come. And it's not about how long it takes to get you there.
Come on, man. That's so good. That's you nailed it on that.
That's not rehearsed.
Yeah. Awesome, bro.
I mean that because it's so important, because so many people, I get people message all the time saying, hey, look, I've watched this interview, and people will watch this interview and they'll see your success and they'll think that's exactly what they need to do, and they'll beat themselves up or maybe give up when they don't get to that point. And you just need to enjoy the journey and embrace it and have fun with it as well, because it's exciting, man. Like starting your own business, and then when you actually do have that first taste, it's just, you can't describe that feeling.
Amazing. I'm still grateful to this day, and I'll continue being grateful for sure.
Love that, Adam. Thank you so much for coming on this interview. That's the end of this one, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please do share it with someone else who will get value from it. By the way, Adam, are you happy for people to reach out and say hi and ask any questions if they want to?
Yeah, for sure. Facebook, LinkedIn, Adam Barrette. You can find me there, or I'm starting my Instagram slowly. So that's Orama Digital for the Instagram. But yeah, from there if you have any questions.
Wicked. I'll put some links in the description, guys. So make sure you check out Adam and follow his journey. Cool. That's the end of this one. I'll see you all very, very soon. Cheers, guys.